Okay, so at this point then, we're going to build the rest of the apparatus. Now, because we're using ground gas joints like this, we need to lubricate them so that they don't freeze up when they get heated. Any ground glass joint that gets heated should always have lubrication on it. So to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to use vacuum grease, like this. Now this is a silicone vacuum grease. It's extremely non-polar, so that's going to create problems later when we have to clean it up. But it turns out it's extremely effective in preventing the joints from freezing. To facilitate doing that, we've put some into a little syringe as a dispenser so that we can just put out small amounts, because we really don't need a huge amount, and that tube is giant. Okay, so what we're going to do, our apparatus is going to look like this. We're going to have the fractionating column here, which, as I showed in the photographs, we used the steel wool and we inserted it into the top and used a spatula to move it in. I have one of these yellow caps on the top of my thing for transporting so that I don't spill and to minimize odor. Whenever you transport things around the lab, you should have them, if at all possible, sealed up. So I'm taking the cap off. The fractionating column will fit in here. Then we will put the distillation adapter, and finally we will put our condenser. And we will hold these things together with these yellow clips that clip over the ground glass joint like that. So let me apply the grease. So applying grease is sort of something that takes a little bit of practice, because we have to find the right amount without putting too much. So what we're going to do is we're going to apply grease only to the top half of the male joint. And we're just going to apply little streaks, I usually put about 3 of them like that, around the joint like so. It doesn't take a lot. Then we're going to put the joint in and twist to spread the grease out. Now, let me just show you on the camera. If you look, you can see that the top half of the joint is now clear, whereas the bottom half is still translucent from the ground glass. So that indicates the grease went about halfway down, which is pretty good. We usually want it between halfway and 2/3 of the way, but it's a good idea not to get it all the way to the bottom, because we'd prefer to keep it out of the flask if at all possible. So we're going to do this again. And we're going to do this in 2 places on this. So you can see top half like so, and also on this one. Anything that's going to be heated or get hot, we'd like to have greased. And that's it for the grease. So let me put this on. And again, I give it a good twist. And then to fasten it, I'm going to put this yellow clip on. The clip has a wide part and a smaller part. The wide part is to go on the female joint, and the smaller part clips up above the male joint. So we push it on like so. Then I can also attach the condenser. Again, give it a little twist and put on my clip. And again, I'm going to attach it down. Just got to be careful. Oops, missed. So then I'm going to just clip it on like that. And finally, generally, we're going to want to have the water inlets and outlets pointing upward, but we can adjust that when we put it in the rest of the apparatus. At this point then, we're going to move the apparatus over and set it up with heating on the hot plate, add the thermometer, get it ready to distill.